the rest of the nations of the world would be in penury. It's just simple economics. We are not offering the world anything. We're offering the world a music and some other things that we offer, but we are not producing anything. We are not selling anything in exchange of to standardize our currency. And the major currency that the world is matching with is the dollar. So we just, we're spenders. We buy and enrich other people's economies by making these monies and spending them on imported goods and all that. And we are not giving anything. We're not producing anything that the world is purchasing. So there is no miracle. I'm not surprised that the dollar is, the naira is falling. I'm not surprised. So far, I don't think it has ever risen anyway. It's been falling and falling and falling, and our leaders are losing, they're clueless about how to go about it. As far as we cannot get economies of the world to match our own economy by buying from us and exchanging their dollar for our naira, there is nothing we are bringing to the table. And obviously, the naira is weak. So normally, what would determine the strength of the naira is how you can compete in the world economy. And naira is not competing at all. So definitely, it's going to keep going down, against the dollar. It's that simple. For those of us in America, I won't lie to you, that have families in Nigeria. It's good news to a large extent, to be honest. But it's bad news because it's a shame that a country as great as Nigeria would have to go through all of that. When we have the capacity to build, we have all the forests, we have water, we have natural resources, no natural disasters, no reason why we can't produce. We have the human capital, we have the population, we have everything. But we can't even give anything to the world. There is nothing that you can say made in Nigeria. Even here in America, you still see made in China, made in India, even here in America. But there is nothing. I've seen goods that are made in South Africa, here in America. But there is nothing anywhere. I've been to in this America, I've been to almost 20 cities. And in this world, I've been to at least 15 to 20 countries already. And I have never seen made in Nigeria anywhere. But we buy everything from the world and enrich the rest of the world. It's a shame.
That bad shame.
It's a shame. You're not giving it.
Bad shame. It's very, very sad. To be honest, I'm agreeing with you on that. The shame. We are too blessed to be this distressed.
Yes, sir. Yes.
We are way too blessed to be distressed.
Bye, Papa.
So, anybody else want to add anything? Ada, you're not going anywhere. Why are you always running? Did Gabzola tell you to get off my line? Hold so. Hold so. So I start this thing. Femi, you don't add weight. So. Inside this dollar we cost, see how your face full everywhere.
Good evening.
Good
Morning, Daddy.
evening. All right, let me hear you. Oh yeah, what's your take?
Is it on dollar to? That one is a. Yeah, I think that it's just unfortunate that we're a country that hardly produce. Instead of us producing, we import, and there is no country that will actually be depending on import that can actually get the right result when it actually comes to the exchange rate. Actually, when it comes to the floating of the naira, it's not really a bad idea. What makes it a bad idea is actually the timing of the event. What I mean by that is that if you study how the United States of America, if you study how they actually floated their USD and how the UK actually floated their USD, their pounds, they follow some procedure. And the first procedure they did was that they ensured that they diversify their economy before they actually float their dollar and pounds. I didn't mean that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually waited maybe for a year or 2 years and he gets some things right regarding the economic diversification. There is nothing bad in actually floating the naira. But you know, a country that hardly produce, a country that hardly happen, is a country that they are now diversifying. They are now floating their currency. There is no way we can actually get the right result. But notwithstanding, I would just urge Nigerians to be patient with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in the sense that everyone actually have their approach developing a country. And like what they said in their Renew Hope agenda of a thing, you know, when they promise you hope, sometimes hope is not always hope is not
Why
always
you got such a gabzoling yawn? Sorry, don't mind me, Femi. Continue.
Yeah.
Are they mimic Ada?
I understand. So hope is not something that is always a
Ada,
product of result. Is always a product of series of attempts, series of discouragement that always leads to success story. Just that if President Tinubu is actually telling us to actually be patient with them, we can be patient as long as they wanted. But notwithstanding, they should not also keep.
You recommend that we should be patient for?
2 years is enough, because
2 years.
2 years is enough.
Do you think Tinubu can do magic in 2 years?
With the current situation of Nigeria, I don't think they can happen, but I think there can be improvement. Because why I said there can actually be improvement is because of the fact that if you study what he's doing, he has been changing several people in the ministry, both the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Education, and etc. So it's believed that maybe those people is actually putting into the government, maybe those people are people you understand, you trust. So by so doing, they can be able to carry out his agenda. But while we are also being patient, President Tinubu should also assist us in reducing the cost of governance. The cost of governance is another thing that is affecting us in this country called Nigeria. Look at it for instance now. And, you know, I think the obedience can start learning their lesson now, that it is not really about party. It is not really about we want change. It's just about the mindset of our leader. At least the 130 million naira vehicle they want to buy for the senators. At least we have over 30 senators that are Labour Party in the House of Senate. And none of these 30 people has actually come out and tell us that because Nigeria is broke, they will not actually accept that car. So meaning that every man is actually for his own pocket. Just like
Baba, you know, Labour Party guy will collect moto.
Sir?
Labour Party guy, he collect moto now. That's 110 million naira SUV. The guy for Labour Party no collect.
They collected. That's what I'm saying. That they all collected that vehicle. So that automatically means Nigerian policy is just a business. They are only using our head.
Just like Nigerian church.
Most likely. So they are only using our head against one another. And that's why we ought to get sense at this stage of our life, that politics should not be a game of enmity. It should always be a game of interest with explanation. And that is what even brought about this kind of Yul Edochie Judy. They have the right to belong to wherever they want to belong to. They have the right to express their interest in a particular government. The fact they have does not mean that they are doing the wrong thing. We cannot see things from the same angle, from the same perspective. And our perspective is related to our exposure and the knowledge we actually have. What if they have something particular about the way Tinubu is actually operating the economy? They may believe in the long-term way of developing the country than the short-term way of developing the country. So I think their opinion should be respected, and the way they are doing things should actually be respected. What just matters is that even if we that we are in opposition, we must criticize President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's try as much as we can to always be to always be constructive with the way we actually do our things, the way we actually criticize the government. Let's try as much as we can to be constructive, but at the same time, we should not actually be so toxic in the way we pass our message. Like someone has told me maybe a few days ago that if Peter Obi has been there, maybe Abdullah will not be like this. I remember that Peter Obi also promised that they will remove the subsidy. And I remember that Peter Obi even said immediately he's going to remove the subsidy. So meaning that if he has also removed the subsidy, the situation we are right now will also be there right now. So the point there is that let's be patient. While we are being patient, we can criticize the government. But when anyone is actually expressing his or her interest in a particular government, let's respect what they are saying. Let's understand them. If you want to react, you have the right to react to what you are not actually comfortable with. But notwithstanding, never destroy relationship because of politics. Politics is what it is. Before today, Atiku has been Tinubu's friend, and Tinubu has been Atiku's friend. Ijalude Olojekorindowe among these people. It's just because one common interest that make them now to be finding their shady lifestyle of a thing. And let's not also forget that Peter Obi, we are even talking about today, Peter Obi has also been a core member of PDP. It's just because he had interest in becoming presidency.
And a beneficiary of Abacha's government.
Exactly. So why should
Peter Obi was a beneficiary of Abacha's government? Femi, tell them, explain it to them how he was.
You know, I think he was one of the ministers that time, right?
He was in the ports. He was head of ports, something like that. Please, what exactly was he? Please remind me, guys.
Because I couldn't actually remember what he played during Abacha's time.
He was head of Nigerian Ports Authority during Abacha's time. You cannot run a parastatal in this country and not benefit from it.
But that's where he was about to own his brewery.
Yeah. That's how he made it. And he also went to the banking industry. And from there, he started
the banking industry. But that ports under Abacha. You know that ports be under Abacha.
Where he got the power to open his own brewery.
No, that one I hear say na state money where he use.
No, that
to open the brewery. Now state money he use open brewery.
See, politics is very simple. Politics is a game of interest. Don't let anyone actually use you as a tool, to achieve their goal. And at the end of the day, they will dump you. One thing there is that every of these people, these individuals that contested for the last election, they are also there one way or the other for their own name. Peter Obi, that is also contesting, whether you like it or not, he also contributed to the issues we have in this country. How many companies does Peter Obi have in Nigeria? But he claims he has companies abroad in UK. So if he is actually concerned about our development and about employment, he should have invested bulk of his money in Nigeria. And can you even invest bulk of your money in Nigeria?
Said, Daddy Freeze, did he steal money when he was Ports Authority chairman? Let me tell you, you don't need to steal money. You don't know what it is to be head of the ports. You don't know what it is. During Abacha's regime, during a dictatorship.
I know some guys that worked in the ports that don't have offices, but they have big houses in Lagos. They don't have.
They have houses in Banana. As in you are naive.
They're just
right.
Yeah, they're just hanging around the ports. I know how much these guys take.
You be a guy of ports at a time when there was no internet. I don't go talk anything, but make una just use church mind, judge am. Do you know who Abacha was? You and Abacha, they work together. And they just leave this matter, leave on.
Honestly, politics is what it is. What just matters is that we are all
and that were you born during Abacha's time? You were not born, leave it. Even Gabzola was not born.
Don't talk about Gabzola now.
Let me tell you something, guys. And we're going to end here. If you understand how a dictatorship runs, if they needed money, all they need to do is instruct the printing and minting company to print. I said, I was in the university during Abacha's time. I don't be small picking. I don't be small picking. Do you know what it is to be a military dictator in Nigeria? Abacha was a soldier. He sabi the war hawk of warfare. So if you mess up, look at what they did to Ken Saro-Wiwa. They don't need, as in all this one when they talk, Abacha's time, Boko Haram. Now 3 days Abacha go give them, they say any day in come, they hear him. Abacha was the one that coined the slogan that any uprising that is more than 24 hours or 48 hours, the government knows about it. It was Abacha's people that said, during Abacha's time, you go frog jump tire. I know who were Abacha's friends when we're in Ibadan and how they benefited.
Money was flowing that time.
La media de Dibu, Arishekola Lao. Baba, it's like telling me you'll be Davido's friend and you know they go club.
One thing is, politics is just what it is. That's one thing I want people to know. Politics is what it is. Notwithstanding, we can always fight for a better Nigeria, but let's take things easy with ourselves. You will have your own side of the story. Other people will have their own side of the story. What matters is that let everybody be on his lane. Support who you like and let other people support who they wanted. That's it.
I really would advise that
guys
to try
make me and go. You don't
agriculture, please. Agriculture. That's just the last word. Agriculture.
Commodify the naira, cassava.
No.
Mr. President, cassava. Commodify the naira. Shout out to my brother Bongoli.
Thank you.
Ada. I will call you
Gabzola.
once we are done. Femi, you don't give her that name. Bye.